I want to be honest about something. I don't know what's coming. I've made peace with not knowing, and I want to tell you what that cost and what it gave me. I used to need a map before I take the step. Had to see the whole road or I wouldn't leave the porch. I call that wisdom, I call that preparation. But what it really was a man who trusted himself more than he trusted the one who made the road. And the road I planned with all my preparation and all my wisdom and all my careful steps did not go where I planned in the years that mattered most. And I stood at the fork with no map and no plan, and more peace than I had ever had with both. Because something shifted when the map ran out. Something that had been white knuckle in the wheel finally let go and found out that someone else had been holding the road the whole time. I don't know what's coming, but I know who does.
I don't know what's coming,
but I know it's covered by a hand that hasn't dropped anything it's carried yet. I don't know what's coming, I know who does. And that's enough, there has to be enough, that is enough. The diagnosis that came in October, I didn't see that map, the call that changed the year, no map for that either. The morning I woke up and the thing I had depended on was simply gone. No map, no preparation, no amount of careful living prepared you for the mornings that rearrange everything. But I noticed something in every one of those mornings that I could not have planned for, that someone had already been there before I arrived, had already prepared something I didn't know I'd need, had already left a provision at every address of every catastrophe before the catastrophe had an address. That's not coincidence, that's not luck, that's a God who works ahead of the calendar, who builds the bridge while I'm still driving toward the ravine. I don't know what's coming, but I know who does.
I don't know what's coming,
but I know it's covered by a hand that hasn't dropped anything it's carried yet. I don't know what's coming, I know who does. And that's enough. So this is the prayer that replaced all my plans. Lord, I don't know what's ahead, but I know you do. And I know you've been faithful in every previous unknown I've walked through. And I know that this one doesn't change a record. So I release the map, I release the need to know the road, I release the grip, and I choose trust, not because it's easy, because it's true. And truth is the only thing that holds when everything else is unreadable. I'll leave the house differently now than I did before. I'll leave with less certainty and more confidence, because certainty was in the plan and confidence is in the planner. And I finally know the difference between those two things.
I know what's coming,
I know who does.
I know who does.
I know who does. That's enough. That's always been enough. I want to tell you something about the thing you're afraid of from the other side of it, because I've been there. And I can tell you what it looks like in the rear view. It looks smaller than it looked through the windshield considerably. 3 months, working on the opening. Walked away twice, came back twice. Stood in the parking lot but the thing I was supposed to do and left without going in. And told myself I'd go tomorrow, and tomorrow I'd do the same thing. Fear is like that, it doesn't announce itself as fear. It announces itself as wisdom, as caution, as reasonable assessment. And the difference between fear that protects you and fear that imprisons you is one of the harder things I've had to learn to read. But the morning I finally walked through, not because I wasn't afraid, because I was more tired of the parking lot than I was afraid of the door. Everything that was behind it was smaller than what I built it to be in 3 months of parking lot.
Fear looks smaller in the rear view.
That's the thing they don't tell you.
Fear looks smaller in the rear view.
When you finally drive through, it's real when it's in the windshield, filling up everything you see. But
fear looks smaller in the rear view.
And faith looks like what carried me. Faith looks like what carried me. 2 Timothy 1:7 says God gave us not a spirit of fear, but a power and love and a sound mind. And I read that verse 100 times in the parking lot. And I wanna tell you something honest, reading it 100 times did not make me unafraid. What it did was give me something to hold in one hand while the fear was in the other. And walking through the door, man, walking through with both the fear and the verse, the shaking and the sound mind, the full awareness of the risk and the full of awareness that the one who told me to go was already inside waiting. And that's what faith actually is, not the absence of the fear, the decision to move while the fear is present, with the verse in one hand and the shaking in the other, through the door and into whatever's on the other side.
Fear looks smaller in the rear view.
That's the thing they don't tell you.
Fear looks smaller in the rear view.
When you finally drive through, it's real when it's in the windshield, filling up everything you see. But
fear looks smaller in the rear view.
Faith looks like
what carried me.
I'm not gonna tell you the thing behind the door was easy. It wasn't. I'm not gonna tell you the fear disappeared the moment you walk in. It doesn't always. What I'll tell you is, from this side of it, from the road looking back, you can see the shape of what the fear was, and you can see the shape of what faith did. And they're the same size until you move, and then faith gets larger and fear gets smaller. Every mile you put between you and the parking lot, every mile you put between you and the door you finally open. So I don't park in those lots as long now. I still arrive sometimes, still feel the familiar weight in the chest before the door. But I have a rearview mirror full of evidence of what's on the other side of the things I was afraid of. And I know how to read the size of fear in a windshield now. It always looks bigger than it is from the parking lot.
Fear looks smaller in the rear view.
Smaller, smaller.
Drive through. Faith carried me.
Faith carries you.
Fear looks smaller in the rear view.
Keep driving.
Fear looks smaller in the rear view.
Keep driving. I want to build a case for the faithfulness of God, not from theology, from my own life, from the specific record of a specific man who kept showing up, to a God who kept showing up first. Count the time the door opened when I stopped knocking. Count the time the money arrived, the day before the due date, not the day of, the day before. Like someone knew the calendar better than I did. Count the times the relationship that was supposed supposed to end didn't end, because something intervened and neither party planned. Count the morning after the worst night, when I woke up differently, then I went to sleep. Like something had moved in the hours I wasn't watching. I'm not building this case for other people, I'm building it for myself. For the mornings when the count is harder to remember than the fear.
Count the times he came through.
Add it up, add it up.
Count the times he came through.
It's a longer list than you thought. Every narrow miss, every door that opened late, every morning after the worst night.
Count the times he came through.
The math don't lie.
The math don't lie.
Yeah. Count the diagnosis that scared you, and the report that came back different than the fear predicted. Count the job that ended, and the better one that started in a field you didn't know existed 3 months before. Count the person who showed up exactly when they were needed, not before. Exactly when, like they had been dispatched from somewhere with better information about your timeline than you had. Count the child that made it, count the marriage that held, count the night you chose wrong and the consequence that was smaller than what you deserved. And ask yourself what that means about the God who was in that gap.
This is not performance.
This is an honest accounting of a man who has been on the receiving end of a faithfulness he did nothing to earn.
Count the times he came through.
Add it up, add it up.
Count the times he came through.
It's a longer list than you thought. Every narrow miss, every door that opened late, every morning after the worst night.
Count the times he came through.
The math don't lie. Lamentations 3:23 says his mercies are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. And I used to read that as poetry. I now read it as a balance sheet that's been audited by 30 years of mornings. And every morning, without a single exception, the mercy showed up before I deserved it,
Before I asked for it,
before I knew I needed.
in the audit,
There's never returned a single morning where the faithfulness failed to appear.
not one.
That's the evidence, that's the case.
The math don't lie.
I'm still counting, I will be counting until the last count is done. And every new uncertain morning I add to the ledger, and the ledger keeps saying the same thing. He came through.
He came through.
He came through.
He always came through.
He always came through.
Count the times he came through.
Count the times he came through.
The math don't lie.
The math don't lie. Still counting,
Still counting.
still came through. Every previous version of me led to this one, and I want to honor that before I step into what's next. I want to say thank you for every broken thing that made this man, before I ask what this man is walking into. I have been through the things that this collection holds. I have been the man in every one of those rooms. The waiting room, the parking lot, the door I was afraid of, the rubble I handed over, the promises I stood on when everything else shifted. And I wanna tell you something about arriving here at the first day of the rest of it. With all of that still in my body, it doesn't feel like starting over, it feels like starting forward, which is different. Starting over races, starting forward carries. And I am not erasing anything, I am carrying everything into whatever is next. As the man it made me.
And what is next
is not yet readable, which is the whole point of trusting the one who already wrote it.
First day of the rest of it.
Don't know what that means yet.
First day of the rest of it.
Stepping out anyway. Got my scars and my scripture, got my doubts and my faith.
First day of the rest of it.
Whatever comes, I'm not the man I was when this started.
I'm ready.
I think I'm ready. I'm carrying the knowledge that grace is larger than any specific failure I have personally produced. I'm carrying the evidence that the promises hold under weight I did not plan to put on them. I'm carrying the man who stood in the waiting room and became something in it. The man who drove through the door, he was afraid of. The man who counted all the times of faithfulness showed up and found the list longer than he thought. I'm carrying all of that into whatever Wednesday morning is waiting for me after this threshold.
And I don't need to know what Wednesday holds. I need to know
who's already in Wednesday waiting.
First day of the rest of it.
Don't know what that means yet.
First day of the rest of it.
Stepping out anyway. Got my scars and my scripture, got my doubts and my faith.
First day of the rest of it.
Whatever comes, I'm not the man I was when this started.
I'm ready.
This is for everyone who has been in any of these rooms, who has sat in the waiting room and grown wings, who has stood in the parking lot and finally walked through, who has handed over rubble and watched it become a room, who has stood on a promise when the ground was moving, who has counted the times and found the list longer than expected, who has taken off the armor because the battle shifted and put it back on in the morning because the morning required it. This is the first day of whatever you've been becoming through all of that. And you are not starting over. You are starting forward with everything you survived intact in your hands as currency for whatever is next.
Take the step, take the step.
It's the first day of the rest of it, and you were made for this. So here I am at the threshold with all of it in my hands, taking the step, not because I know it's on the other side, because I know who does, and he has already been there, getting it ready for exactly this version of me that all of this made.
First day of the rest of it.
Starting forward,
Not starting over.
not starting over.
First day of the rest of it.
Everything you survived is currency, yeah.
First day of the rest of it.
Take the step,
Take the step.
take the step. Grace got you here.
Grace takes you forward.
First day
First day.
of the rest of it. I've never been good at waiting. I want what I want when I want it, and God keeps putting me in waiting rooms, and I keep forgetting that He's not the receptionist, He's the doctor. I put in the request in the spring, spring became summer, summer became a year. And I sat in that waiting room with the same magazines and the same fluorescent home, and the same people who had also been waiting longer than they planned. And I wanna be honest about what I did in that room. I complained, I checked the clock, I questioned whether the appointment was still on the books. I drafted the speech I'd give if I was called next, and the speech I'd give if I wasn't. And I performed patience for the people watching, while internally I was having a very different conversation with the ceiling. And the ceiling didn't answer the way I wanted, but it didn't stay silent either. What it gave back was harder than the answer I wanted. It gave me back the question, why are you afraid of the waiting room?
Waiting rooms.
I spent some time in you,
Waiting rooms.
wondering what the waiting's for. I bring my impatience through the door and sit with what I can't control.
Waiting rooms.
Lord, I'm still waiting, but I'm learning something I didn't know I needed to know. In here, I met a man in the 3rd month of my particular wait, who had been in his waiting room for 11 years. And when he told me that I checked my own posture, because he had something that 11 years of waiting had built in him that was not in me yet. He said the waiting room is where God does the work that can't be done on the moving road. He said some of what you're becoming requires stillness, and if you could have had the answer in the spring, you would have left before the becoming was complete. And I sat with that for the rest of the summer, and by fall I understood it differently, not comfortably, differently. Because understanding something doesn't make it easy, it just makes it purposeful. And purposeful waiting is a different kind of hard than pointless waiting. And I finally knew which one this was.
Waiting rooms.
I spent some time in you,
Waiting rooms.
wondering what the waiting's for. I bring my impatience through the door and sit with what I can't control. Lord, I'm still waiting, but I'm learning something in here. Isaiah 40:31 says, those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength, will mount up with wings like eagles, will run and not be weary, will walk and not faint. And I read that as a promise about what happens after the waiting, but it's actually a promise about what happens during. The strength isn't the reward for waiting. The strength is what the waiting produces. The wings are growing in the waiting room right now, while I'm sitting here being made into something that can use them. I'm still in the waiting room as I write this. Still don't have the answer, still don't know the date, but I'm sitting differently than I was in the spring. The man across from me who just sat down looks like I did in the spring. And I lean over and I say, the doctor is running behind, but he hasn't forgotten your appointment. He's never missed one yet.
Waiting rooms.
He hasn't forgotten, still